Merry Christmas, guys! I'm really excited to make this video. Today is obviously December 24th, Christmas Eve. It's currently about 4:34. I'm really excited to make this video because I've been literally wanting to do this for a while now, but I just haven't gotten around to it because I haven't had like an occasion or like time to really do this. But I do have time today, so I'm gonna do it. Obviously, we need to get a couple of things done. We need to do my hair, we need to do my makeup, I need to change. Still don't know what I'm gonna wear, but I'll figure it out. And if you're wondering why am I not in my usual like area in my room, it is because I'm not in my room, and that is because my sister is here. She actually just moved to like Northern California a little bit a while ago. She came down for like early November and then right now during this week. So obviously she is a little bit exhausted because it is a really long drive, so she's just taking a little nap, but she will get up right now, and I just kind of wanted to give her that moment, not just film in front of her face. I'm not exactly sure what we're doing today because I might go to my aunt's house, and I do want to film there, but the thing is nobody there, or like nobody really in my family, is used to being on a camera, like, and people can get camera shy, and I just don't want to make people feel a little bit uncomfortable, especially since like the holidays, just knowing that I'm gonna post it and like all that stuff. So I might not film, it just depends on the vibe. But yeah, so I'm really excited. I really hope that you guys like this video because I did have a lot of like questions about like, oh, kind of flickering, sorry about that, but I did get a lot of questions on my makeup, so I did want to go more in depth about that in this video. So with that being said, let's just get into it. So I'm back, and obviously like my face looks a little different. I had my makeup on from just like earlier on in the day when I went to the stores, but I took it off and I just washed my face. I don't know the name of the cleanser I use, but I'll put a picture of it here, as well as the moisturizer. Now I'm actually going to do my hair, and I use a wand because I don't really know how to use a clamp. So honestly, like if you have a tutorial or something, like drop them below because I need to find one. My hair kind of does fall like quite a bit, so I like to make the curls a little bit tight. So it's warming up right now, so I'm gonna let it heat up and then I will start to curl my hair. Like I said earlier, I'm really excited to make this, and I don't have a particular order to get ready. Sometimes I do my makeup first, sometimes I do my hair first, sometimes I change. The first thing I do is obviously I brush my hair, and what I like to do is I just divide it like this, and I always just go like back to the front. Like I know a lot of people like to section their hair, which like isn't a bad way of doing it. I just feel like it doesn't really work for me because it makes my hair like tangle trying to like level it out and stuff. After I brush my hair, I like to start curling it, and I usually start with this side, so I just like to either tuck it behind my ear or like a little hair tie, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. So first things first, well, I should probably put that down because I'm gonna burn myself. So first things first, like my hair's like this, so I like to just get a small section, and like I said, I like my curls to be a little bit on the tighter side because my hair does fall out. That when they fall out, it's like how I like it. So I get a size about like this big, and then I'll get the barrel, and the most important thing is to go away from your face. So I'll put it behind my like hair piece, and I will put it close to my head, and I'll just start wrapping like this. And I feel like I like to leave a little bit of the ends out like this, and I'll just probably leave it there for, I don't know, let's go with 5 seconds. And then I will take it out, I scrunch it like that, and I pull it down, and then you're left with this curl, which does look a little tight, you know, but then I'll just put it to the back, and then I'll repeat the same thing. But anyways, I'm gonna keep doing this for all of my head on this side, and then obviously when I do it on this side, I will put it behind and I will go that way. I'm just gonna do that to all of my head. Time check, it is 5:11, so I'm gonna come back whenever I'm done and we'll see whatever time that is. Okay, so I finally finished curling my hair. So honestly, just trust the process. I know they look tight, kind of gives George Washington vibes, so we're gonna ignore that. Just trust the process. My sister just packed up and she left right now, so I am gonna see her tomorrow for Christmas Day. But for right now, I'm really excited. This is like my favorite part of the video, my makeup. Obviously, because it's Christmas, like I do want to be extra for like photos and just for the vibes, you know. So this is gonna be more of like just what I do on a heavier glam day, but my everyday routine if you guys want to see like more of that, just let me know and I'll include that in a video somewhere, but this is just more on the heavier side. The first thing I'm going to do is put on this, and this is just to put my hair back because I cannot stand it when my hair is like in my face doing my makeup. I don't understand how like those like influencers or whatever like do their makeup with those like little like clips. Forehead warning, this is very exposed right now. I feel like this is kind of good because my hair, like since it's kind of pulled back right here, when I take it off, it gives it volume. For primer, I think I'm gonna do this one. It's the Hourglass like Vanish. It's like an airbrush. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I don't think that primer makes much of a difference, I'm not gonna lie, or maybe that's just because I haven't had like a good primer, but on the plus side it does make your skin like really smooth, which is why I'm assuming like makeup will last a little better. This is a heavier glam, so I am gonna do foundation, and honestly the only foundation, well that's a lie, I have two foundations. It's the stick one from Hourglass, and then it's like a liquid one. It's this one from L'Oreal, and the thing is the stick one is good, like it's actually really good. But the thing is, I feel like it's made more for people with oily skin, and I don't, so I feel like that's not the best match. Plus, it's also a little bit dark for me, so I really have to blend it in. I'm not entirely sure how much of this to use, but there's this girl on TikTok, and her name's McKenna, and she's like a really good makeup artist, and I believe she really likes this foundation, and she puts a lot of it on because she says you really have to cake it on, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so I blended it all out, and that's why I'm going to look a little bit ghostly, but next I'm going to do bronzer, and usually I use the Milani one or the Rare Beauty, but my sister just gave me this that she was here, and it's the Saie one in shade Sand, I think, but we're going to try it out. So looks like this. Okay, also ignore my family if you hear them in the background. I don't know what they're talking about. But I'm going to put it in like this area right here, as well as my nose and a little bit here. And again, like I'm not like the best at this, so if you feel like I'm doing something wrong, I probably am. But just do with that what you will. Low-key thought that this was going to be like too much bronzer. I actually kind of love how it's blending out. And I'm not sure why, but you can't really see it too much on camera. But in person, it is showing up as like a good contrast. So far, so good. Next, we're going to do blush. And usually, I've actually kind of stopped doing liquid blush because I feel like I don't know what's going on, that it leaves me that white patch. And it's like literally, it's betrayal. Like I hate when that happens and I don't know how to fix it. So I'm just gonna kind of risk it all today. So we have two options. I could do my Rare Beauty, and I can also do my Charlotte Tilbury. I think I'm more in the mood for Rare Beauty, so I'm gonna try this one. And I know that everybody says that these are really pigmented, which they are, but not like to the point where I feel like I have to fix it. I don't know, I've just never had that problem, which is a good thing. However, I do really want to try the Rhode blushes. I feel like those would be really good, but I just blend it out with like a little like soft brush like this. Off topic, but I am really happy about the fact that I'm on break. I feel like school has just been a little bit stressful lately, and it's just not the best feeling. I feel like I don't really know how to handle stress that well, and I wish that I did, you know what I mean? I see a lot of people just like doing more than I'm involved in, and yet they don't look stressed, but when I talk to them, they say that they are, and I just feel like that's a really good reminder to not assume what anybody else is like feeling, and at least it like helps me remember like, okay, it's fine that I'm feeling stressed because I can find solutions and other things like that. So if you are one of those people that gets stressed easily or gets like overly stressed, this is just like your reminder to just breathe and relax, and you got this, you know what I mean? I'm finding ways every day to make myself feel a little bit better and just calm down. Next, for concealer, I like to use this Tower 28 one. I actually got recommended it by a friend, and her makeup is really tea, so that's why I got it, and it is a really good formula. It's not too like heavy or light. I think it is buildable, so I feel like this could work for both. I use the shade BU. I think it's the second lightest, but honestly I think I also would have been fine with the lightest shade because I think it would have like brightened more. This is more of a heavy glam, which is why I put more of, you know, concealer on in these areas. Just blend it out with a sponge. Okay, now my concealer is all blended out, but ignore my lips because I didn't realize that there was like concealer and everything on top of them. Next, what I typically like to do is just set my under eyes as soon as I blend my concealer, but because I do kind of want more of a brighter For this type of look, I'm gonna actually go in with a different concealer. I'm gonna use the L'Oreal. This one has like incredible coverage, so I feel like a little goes a long way, but this shade is just brighter than the Tower 28 one. So I like to just put like a little bit. Same thing, I blended in with my Beauty Blender. Now that that's blended out, I am gonna set it, and I use the Huda Beauty, which is like the best powder ever. Like, it's the best powder you're ever gonna find. If you think you have the best powder, no you don't. It's this one. I just said this in my past video when I was doing the Christmas wish list thing, and I told everybody the Huda Beauty powder, and I said that I had it, and like, I mean it. Like, this is the best powder ever. It just does such a good job. But what I like to do, so to make sure that my concealer doesn't crease or anything, I get my powder puff. What I like to do is just dip it inside of the little cap where I poured the powder, and I like just kind of make sure it's like all even. I'll switch it to this hand, and I'm going to use my beauty sponge, and I'm going to do one eye at a time, but I'm going to make sure it's blended, and I'm not going to blink. Look back up and just put it down, and I just set it like this, and then I'll bring it into my nose. Now I can like look normal. I'll bring it into my nose and then kind of just create this like triangular shape going this way, and I will just set it like that, and it's the same thing on this side. And now both eyes are set, and I use the butt end of the powder puff, and I just like kind of diffuse the edges a little bit to just kind of make it seem a little more blended. And I don't know if this really makes a difference, but I just like to do it. And normally if this was just like my everyday makeup type of thing, I would just kind of leave it there, but because it's extra, I'm gonna bake, and I'm not entirely sure how to do this, if I'm even doing it right, but this is just like the way I like to do it. So I'll put more on the cap, just like that, and I'm going to get my powder puff again, and I'm going to just do that. Okay, so now I have the powder setting on my face, and I'm not sure why, but the camera I feel like doesn't do my makeup justice, like enough color, but I promise there's more color than what you're seeing on the camera right now. After I set everything with powder, I like to do everything that I just did, but in powder versions. So I'm gonna do powder bronzer now. So recently I've been using the Physicians Formula, I think that's how you say it, and I'm not sure what shade this is. It says Sunset Bronzer. I don't know, maybe that's the shade. I don't know, guys. But this is like a shade bit dark for me, but because I feel like I am really pale, I do like to go heavy-handed with the bronzer. So I don't mind that it's like darker, because that just means like less product for me anyways, if that makes sense. I use the Makeup by Mario, and I'll put it right in my forehead. That's where I start off. I'll just get more of that. I'll kind of diffuse it on the back of my hand, and then just do the other side. So I have to be careful on my cheek side. Same thing, I like to just kind of see where my bone is at, and I just do a little dab like right there. Pretty sure this is like against makeup rules, but I'll kind of just go where my blush is supposed to go, and I'll kind of just do that, and then I'll kind of drag it to my ear here, but I don't like to bring it down, but I like to just do that, and I just do the same on the other side. Now that I did both sides, my face does have a lot more color, and I just like to do my nose, but obviously I use a smaller brush. I just dip it in the bronzer, I go to the back of my hand, and then I feel like this depends on your nose shape, so this is just what I like to do for mine, but I kind of do like a U, like that, and then I'll kind of just brush the excess off. I'll go to like where my eyebrow is, and I'll go like this. Same thing on this side. So I'll just kind of pretend like I'm just drawing a line down, not so much like following the sides of my nose. It's more like on top of my nose. So after I do like my nose, then I go in with blush, but I like to do two different blushes, and you're gonna see why. The first one that I go in with is the Kylie one, and I know that makeup has expiration dates, but I'm not following that. So I'll dip it in this just because this is like more of a baby pink. Same thing, diffuse on the back of my hand, and then I will put it on my cheek, but like right about here, and I'll kind of put it into my like eyeball, you know what I'm saying? And then I will do the same but on this side. And honestly, speaking of blush, this is one of my favorite makeup steps because it's just like so fun. Like, it's pink and it's girly and it's like, I love it. But I will say that my favorite is bronzer. The next blush that I use is the Hourglass one. I'm not sure the shade because like the back is kind of rubbed off. I'm sure that they have a limited amount of shades of the blushes that they have, so I'm sure you could like find this easily, but it is this one. I'll use a brush like this, and I'll just kind of go heavy-handed in here, and I'll kind of just rub some off here. And this I will put just about here And then I'll just blend that out right now. But I like to do the same on the other side. And then I do feel like I have a tendency to go like too heavy-handed, like a little bit of blush blindness going on. Blush is the first thing to go away in your makeup, so I feel like I should add more because it goes away really fast. After I'm done with blush, I usually just go into highlight, but because this is a heavier glam, I'm gonna do an extra step that I don't normally do. I like to get any eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna use this one because it has this light shade, so I feel like it's perfect. I'm gonna use this brush right here because it's not that big and not that small. So I'm gonna dip it in that shade, and then I'm gonna just leave it like that, and I'm going to put it right here, which is like an eyeliner, but I'm not sure if it's like against the rules. I guess if you have really dry under eyes, this might not be like ideal for you because I feel like it could make your eyes drier, but I feel like it just adds a difference. Like if you look at this eye and then you look at that one, like it just brightens the whole thing. I like to just do the same but on the other eye. And that's just about it. So next we're gonna do highlight. I like to use this Dior one. It comes very in clutch, and I don't normally do this, but I feel like I kind of want to use this pink one and put it kind of mixed in with my blush, just so that way it kind of adds it more of a glow to it. So we're gonna try that out, but I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't think you can tell too much on camera, but it does add like a little sparkle, which I love. Now I'm gonna do eyebrow. I'm gonna zoom you guys in way more, so that way you can see what I'm really doing. I feel like eyebrows are such a personal thing. So if you like the way that I do my eyebrows and want to see it, this is for you. But if you have your own way of doing your eyebrows, then I would just skip to this time in the video so you can get on with your makeup. So I'm using the e.l.f. pencil. I'm not sure what shade this is, but I'll put it up on the screen. I like this eyebrow a little more, so I'm going to show you on this one. So I like to just follow my natural eyebrow shape. If you want to draw more like of a shape, then you can do that. I feel like this pencil is really good because it like is very tiny. It'll allow you to just really make that line where you want it. And then I will do a little bit on the top, but I won't start it from here. I'll start it about here. And I will go in with the top, still following my eyebrow, like I'm not doing anything crazy. Right here on this tail, I feel like my eyebrow goes a little sparse right there. So I like to just go like that and fill in that little space. Just kind of whatever you want to do. It's like your eyebrow, but that's just the way I like to do mine. And after that, I'll go back in to any areas that I feel like I missed. And then once my eyebrow looks like this, I will get the spoolie end and I will put it in the front area right here where that line is at. There's a reason why we didn't do that line up there. I'll just blend it upwards like this. Then I feel like it kind of gives me the effect that my eyebrows like fading in, you know what I mean? I feel like that just looks better for me. Last thing is I would just put them up with a gel. So the one I like to use is this one. It's by Maybelline and it's really good. This is, I don't know if this is like supposed to be a dupe of something, but they do not move. So I will go backwards just like that. And then I will brush them up, but I kind of like to go lightly right there. And then I go heavier here. I will just kind of pat the top hairs down. And if I feel like I did them too down, I'll just brush back up again. That is my eyebrow all complete. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, and then I will show you how I clean them up. So let me just zoom you guys out really fast. I'm back and the eyebrows are done. I'm not sure if they look identical, but that's why they're sisters, not twins. And now we're just going to conceal them with a little bit of concealer. So I like to get a brush, just like a little one like this, and I use the Tower 28 concealer that I used earlier. Go under the beginning of my eyebrow, and I feel like I like to be really focused on this because if you don't, I feel like it messes up the eyebrow. I feel like this just helps your eyebrow look clean and like more finished up. I'll get my finger and I'll just kind of either tap or just kind of smudge it in. Next we're gonna do more highlight, but the little details. I like to use this one. She is very tiny, and I go in with the white and gold because I feel like if I just use the gold, it's not bright enough, and if I just use the white, it's a little too bright, so I like to mix them. I like to go on the tip of my nose right here. Same thing, dip back again, and then go to where my eye is. And I feel like when I was younger, I would go a little too crazy with this. So you want to keep it classy. So I'll just kind of do more of it upwards and a little bit of it sideways. Same thing on the other eye. Just a little going upwards and a little going sideways. After I do that with my eyes, I like to go with a little more and put it at the very tip of my eyebrow right there. Same thing on this side. So then I'll use the tip of the brush and I'm gonna go kind of like this, and I'll just kind of create like a little line like that. And I know some people like to go like all the way down here, but I kind of don't, so I'll just kind of put it right about here. Okay, so that's all done. And now what I'm going to do is my lashes. And this I like to be very focused on, so I'm going to zoom you in. Okay, so you guys are zoomed in. So my eye right here, I'm going to curl my lashes. So this is the Shiseido one. This is a really good eyelash curler. And I really just make sure to get all like the eyelashes in there. I will curl it like this. And I'm going to kind of lift it up a little and just hold it for a little and then just look down. I like to look down like that, and I will release. And then I will use my finger to kind of just spread them out. And I'd like to do one eye at a time. First things first, start with the lengthening mascara. I don't necessarily always keep my mascaras the same. I always like to switch them up and try different ones. But the one that I've been liking recently is just like the one by e.l.f. I think it's a dupe for the roller lash, but I mean, it works good. So I'm going to use the brush, and I'm going to go just on the tips, like literally barely even touching my eyelashes. You just have to trust the process. I like to do the bottom, and you can like skip this part because I know not everyone's into the bottom ones, but like I am. I think it makes my eye just pop more. Once my eye looks like that, it is pretty much dry because I didn't put any on the root, and I will go in with a voluming mascara. So this can be any volumizing mascara, but I'm just going to use this one, Colossal, whatever that's called, but this one. So it has a really big wand, which is I feel like a little bit scary, but it looks like that. So I'm just gonna put that kind of the mid of my lashes upwards. I'm gonna let this dry because I like to curl my lashes again after this, which I know you shouldn't do because you have a good chance of ripping out your lashes, but I just feel like it makes them look better. So if you're gonna do that at your own risk. Just be careful. So I'm just gonna put them all in there, and this can be a little bit tricky. Really get every single lash in there, clamp it, just going a couple of times, just kind of pulsing it, and then release, gently release. And then I know they look a little bit crazy, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. It'll diffuse in just a second. I'm gonna go back in with that lengthening thing. And honestly, if you think this is too many steps, like it really is. Like on my everyday routine, I literally just do one coat on each, curl it again, and that's it. So that is pretty much what I do with one eye. And as you can see, I put a little bit too much in this inner corner for my liking, but you can get a spoolie and just kind of diffuse it. And I did get a little bit of mascara on this upper lid as well as right here, but I like to let it dry, get a spoolie, and then just go like that, and it should come right off. Okay, because you guys just saw me do this eye, I'm gonna do this eye off camera. Okay, I'm back, and I just did this eye, and I also took off the makeup off my lips because it was kind of really bothering me. But now we're gonna do lips, and I'm actually really excited for this because I've always been experimenting this, because my freshman year I actually hated having any color of my lips. Like I would just always do a clear gloss, and I don't know why, because looking back, it didn't look the best. So I don't really know my thought process on that. But as the years have passed, I've been getting more into like lip liners and lipsticks and all that good stuff. So I have a couple different options because my sister just gave me them. So I just wanted to try them out. This first thing that we have on here is this CoverGirl lip stain. And I'm not really sure how this color is going to look, but my friend actually has this one, but like in a red, and it looks really good on her. So I'm excited to try it. And I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, she's a little dark, but I like it actually. I think that's pretty. Hopefully it stays. We're gonna find out. Now we're gonna do a lip liner, and I have two options for this. I have this like brown looking one more. Well, no, this looks like more of a pink. Like this is a pinker one, this is a brown one, and I actually did swatch them, but I'll swatch them again for you guys. So that's what like the brown one looks like, and then the pink one. Oh my gosh, I can't get that thing off. And then that's what that looks like. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the pink one, and then if I feel like it needs more dimension, I'll do the brown one. Okay, now that that's applied, I'm just gonna kind of go like that with my finger because I don't want it to be like too hard. She also gave me this e.l.f. Lip tint, and if you guys have seen my other video, the Vlogmas week 1, there was a day that I was getting ready and I talked about how I lost one of my favorite stains, and it was this exact one, but it was just in a different color. I believe that shade was called Pinky Promise, and this one is called Left on Red. So we're just gonna see how this looks. Okay, again, super pretty, but just a little bit darker than my everyday use. So far, I'm liking the lips, but I think I am going to go with this brown lip liner just because I feel like it could use a little bit of a darker outline. Okay, yeah, I like that way better. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of a gloss, and yesterday I actually had a Secret Santa and they gave me this, and I love Summer Fridays, and this is just honestly, I think it was a really good thing that they got me brown because I don't think this is a color I would normally pick for myself, but honestly, it looks really good, and I've seen other people wear it and it looks like they could really pull it off, and I'm sure that it smells great. Yep, it smells like iced coffee, which I think that is yeah, iced coffee. It smells exactly like it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on. Let's see how it looks. Okay, pretty. It goes in with the theme. Again, this is like more of a darker lip than I would normally do, but I kind of love that because it's just pushing me a little bit out of my comfort zone. I have this other gloss that my friend gave me for my birthday, and clearly she's well loved because I'm down to the brim, but it is like a really pretty like cherry color. I think that is the name. Yeah, cherry vanilla, and it is a really good red. So I just like, anytime I put on any gloss, I just like to put that in the center, so I'm gonna do that with this one. Okay, I love it. So that is the makeup all complete. The last thing I'm gonna do is setting spray. So I'm not gonna put any of that on, but I just feel like I need a little bit more bronzer, and you guys are probably like, girl, no you don't, but I just feel like I do, so I'm just gonna put a little bit, just a little bit on my forehead, and I'm gonna use like a fluffier brush to kind of just make it look a little less harsh, I guess. I like to also kind of go over my blush. I think it just kind of blends everything better, I'm not gonna lie. Now we are all done, and I'm really happy that I actually got to film this because I've been wanting to for a really long time. So next things up is the hair reveal, because I'm gonna take this off and we're gonna see if it like gave me any type of volume, which it kind of didn't, but I think the curls, okay, the curls didn't go down as much as I would like them to, but they did in a way, and I like them like this. It's just mainly for the photos. And I actually thought 2 of my cousins weren't gonna go, but they actually are, to my aunt's house, and I'm excited because I have a great time with all my cousins. The last thing for me to do before I head out is just to change, and I didn't know what to wear. I feel like that's always a really big hassle for me. I literally never know what to wear. But for sure, I know that I want to be comfy, so I am going to put on leggings. The top, only one sweater kind of comes into mind, so I'm going to go ahead and change that. Okay, so I'm back. I changed, and I actually love this top. I don't know if you can tell, but it has like these little red stripes, and I think it's so cute. My sister gave it to me, and obviously you guys can't see, but I'm wearing my black leggings, and I think I'm gonna wear my Uggs just because I feel like that gives very Christmas vibes. And I also have one last finishing touch. Found them. So I wore these in my last video, but I just feel like they're really cute and they give such Christmas vibes that I feel like I have to pull up with them. It was either this or like a red headband, but I don't know where that red headband is. Now I just need to put on my shoes, perfume, like finishing touches on jewelry, and then I am ready to head out. So with that being said, this little get ready with me is done. I really hope that you guys like it. If you guys want more of like an everyday natural type of routine, like let me know and I could try that. Or like anything related to makeup, I would be so down to try it. As well, if you have any other video ideas for the end of this year or the beginning of next year, which is a little bit crazy to say, just put them down below. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.